This is Gather. It's an AI micro agent platform and an instant messenger. And I want to show you why I think that's going to be so powerful. So what Gather does is it brings together lots of agents behind at signs so you can invoke them inside of a group chat. And I'm going to show you why I think that's so powerful. Here is the interface. It's just an interface like any other AI chat interface. But the big key difference is rather than being solo, it's actually an instant messenger with your friends. So you can say, hey, how are you? And the application on the right also gets it. Hi, I am great. So a very familiar instant messaging app. So what about the agents? I want to show you this very, very quickly and chain together some agents so you can start to see how powerful this is. It all starts with this one, email, okay? So to invoke an agent, you just at the bottom and then type your command. Please draft a test email to, and we've sent that message. It's responded immediately. An AI agent has said, look, here's a draft email I'm going to try and send. Do you want me to send it? You respond to the email. Yes, please go ahead. Now, in just a second or two, there the email has been sent. So what's happened here is inside the context of a group chat, here's everybody's messages, right? I've invoked an email agent, it's written an email for us, and it's actually sent it. So what actually happens when we get that email, because it is important to understand how this works in the context of Gather. This is the email that I've now received from Gather. I want you to pay attention to two things. It has actually come from gatherdemo@gather.is. That is the email address associated with the chat that we're in here. It says at the bottom it's been sent from the Gather demo group chat. The reason that's important is I can actually reply to this email. Hey, that sounds cool. Hit send. We can get rid of this now. Here we are in the group chat with one person either side. Even though email is very, very slow because it's a very old protocol, you'll actually see that the email's response turns up right there in the chat. It's come straight back to your group chat, which makes your group chat both an inbox and an outbox. And obviously we can now reply. Please draft a response. The email agent has drafted a response, and again, we can just confirm and the email will get sent. There you go, done. Now, why is this actually powerful? Well, it becomes incredibly powerful when you chain it together with the other agents which are growing and arriving into Gather every single day. One of them is called Deep. So let's do a scenario here really quickly. Let's say that two people are talking. Hey, what to do tonight? And let's just move this along nice and quickly. Burgers. Okay, now at this point in a conversation, you get inertia. It happens all of the time. Not with Gather, because you can invoke a deep agent and say, please find us burger restaurants in Manchester Central, UK, and try and get their email addresses for us. Thanks. We've invoked the agent. I'm going to quickly tell you how the agent works. Deep has access to two tools. It can search and it can browse, and it can keep going until it's happy it's found what it's looking for. When it's done, it's going to report back to the group chat here with what it has found. So let's just give it a minute and then we'll get a response. So there you go. We've now got quite a few email addresses there, and for places that we could go and get burgers tonight. Now what would we do? We say at email, hey, could you draft an email to these guys requesting a table for 2 people tonight at 7 p.m. Email has access to the context that the other agent has provided, and you can see it's now got an email ready to go. If we're not happy with it being a BCC or an email of this kind, we can tell the agent, look, send them one by one. It will do that, and we can say, yep, go ahead and send. As you saw earlier, if those restaurants respond, it will come directly into your inbox here, and everybody in the group chat will see it. Now, I want to show you another tool that you can use inside of Gather. It's called Data, and what do you think it does? Can you please make a table that keeps track of all of these burger restaurants and the information we have about them, and please keep their email addresses and whether we have or have not contacted them. What data does is it's actually powered by DuckDB in the back, and every single group chat has its own file system like Amazon S3 or Google Dropbox or Google Drive, and it has its own database which DuckDB can now interface with. This is all now your data, and you can see it's done exactly what we asked and produced a table. It's shown us whether we do or we don't have an email address associated with that restaurant. You can see that this is incredibly powerful. Okay, I want to show you just how good this system can be. So if we say @data, please make up a restaurant, give it any name that you want, and add it to the list and say that we have contacted it. Now, because it already knows which table it's interfacing with, it's gathered all of that from the chat. You can see, I think it's invented a restaurant in here somewhere. Where? Let's see. Yeah, we had 8 restaurants prior. One of these has now been invented by DuckDB and inserted. So you can do natural language commands to DuckDB, which is an incredibly powerful tool, and it can do all kinds of things. I don't want to dive extensively into that today, but you can imagine DuckDB or data much like Google Sheets, Excel, or Pandas data library, all of these kinds of things. DuckDB is really good at doing that stuff. But we can even go one better than that. We can upload files to this system. So I'm going to just drag a file in here. Let's get this one. Okay, and I now want to show you what that's actually done. We've uploaded a file into the chat. If we click on this button at the top, you can see it's now in there. Now, again, the agents can have access to those files if we so wish, and I want to show you how powerful that is. @extract. This is another agent that already exists on Gather called extract. Please extract from the filmmaking action plan all of the tools that are mentioned in that plan. I want links, names, and a short description of each. Thank you. Now this takes a little while to complete, but I actually want to show you the data that it's working with. This is actually the file that extract is now looking at. It's a huge, I think 12,000 word document that goes into extensive detail about all kinds of things, including tools for how you might make AI films, pictures, videos, sound, editing, this kind of a thing. And if I wanted to just quickly get a sense of what actually are the tools available to me, I can now add my extract agent to that job. And in a short bit of time, it's going to report back. There you go, it's done the job. And it's giving you a summary of what it's done. What it's actually done is it's saved that data directly into your file structure. You can see this is the original file that we had here. And it's got a new file, a Parquet file, which is something that the database is very good at reading. So I could say @data, please can you show me that table? Data will run a query for us, and it will actually render that table for us. And here you go. So we've now gone, and just from a few seconds really, from a huge unstructured document, we've extracted structured data, and we now have a very powerful database that's able to interface with that data. We can add new lines, we can do sums, all kinds of complicated calculations across this whole data set, all through natural language. So you can see just with these tools, this is incredibly powerful for your company, for your home life, in your family, in friendship groups. This is a very, very flexible tool and very powerful with an inbox and outbox, agents that can help you draft emails, research agents, and a database agent. Very soon there will be a publishing agent that's going to help you publish this data as well. There are a lot more agents to come, but I want to show you one killer feature of Gather. The whole purpose of Gather is to allow you to make and deploy your own micro agents to this platform, because everybody's workflows are very, very different. It should be super, super easy to develop and publish your own agents, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. If you click on My Agents, to make an agent on Gather, you just give it a name and give it a description and click Create Agent. And in the end, you will get an API key. Okay. I'm now going to go to a blank Python project. This is just an empty project where I've put the API key into this env. Okay. I'm going to show you how quickly you can launch an agent. uv pip install gather SDK. That will install the Python package you need. Gather SDK init. This will get you all the boilerplate code that you need to launch your agent. You'll actually get a very extensive piece of code to power the agent. It uses Pydantic AI. You don't have to use that, but I think it's very, very powerful. That's why we use it here. It has access to one function, say hello world, and it can reply. But all of the base boilerplate code to get started is ready, and you can customize that. For example, here is where you would say, okay, I want you to download this file. I want you to go and search for this thing. I want you to think about this. It would all happen here inside of this code. So how do we actually run it? Well, we've run 2 commands so far. We're actually ready to go. We simply say python agent.py. It's now connected to Gather. So if we come back to the Gather application, we click on My Agents, there's a dev room. All dev agents have their own room where the agent is inside of it and you can talk with it. So I can just say, hey, how are you? And it will send a message to the code base, and you can see already the agent has responded directly into the Gather SDK system. This is live on the internet. Your AI agent is live. Why is this incredibly powerful? Because you can invite your team members, your friends, your family directly into this chat room here, and they can continue to test and engage with your agent. And whilst you're developing it, this is very, very, very powerful. And you can actually make it so this agent will only respond inside of your chat in your workspace and do your things. So it's a great way to immediately develop your own AI workflow tools. That is Gather, a super, super powerful system. Right now, it's free to develop and launch agents on Gather. It's free to sign up to Gather and set up group chats. In the future, you will be able to add your own API keys, and there will be a paid for package with additional tools coming very, very soon. I hope you are interested and want to learn more. If you want to figure out anything or something doesn't make sense and you want to launch an agent on Gather and it isn't, you need some help, reach out to me on YouTube or Twitter or wherever you can, and I'll help you with that. That is it for now.